boardwalk in southern New Jersey. Our main event should be a good one tonight. 15 rounds among heavyweights between Muhammad Ali and Big George Foreman. Muhammad Ali's on his way to the ring. You can see it in his eyes. You just know he's got that feeling tonight. George Foreman's coming down to the ring now. And what a nice reception as he is completely focused in on his goal tonight.
Introducing first, fighting out of the corner, the greatest of all time, and his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the right corner, Big George Foreman.
When you get a fight like this that everybody's been talking about, it's always so interesting to see these opening moments here in round number one. Well, here they go again, Muhammad Ali and George Foreman. We all know what happened with the rumble in the jungle. How does that play in the mind of George Foreman having to face Ali again now?
Whether or not Foreman can get those memories out of his mind. This is a guy that was broken down. This is a guy that had his will pulled out of his soul, out of his chest. And that's something you don't just recover from. That's not just a physical beating. That's an emotional, tumultuous beating. That's something that you just don't come back from.
And now they're opening up. Both right hands land. Halfway through round number one. Able to show you his blocking ability. Off to the side, a little swing and a miss going upstairs. Now he ties up there.
Keep your hands up.
Wow! George Foreman stunned and he is hurt. Foreman's looking for some room and he found a way to get it. End of the round here, and as I glance around ringside and look at the judges, I'm wondering what they're writing down because that was a tough round to score.
Yeah, it was. And, you know, it's the kind of round where one guy would be really smart to take a page out of the book of Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, where Leonard stole rounds at the end, where he just clipped off 30 seconds, and that's exactly what the judges remembered.
George Foreman's corner is going to really need to step up and handle that swelling. At the end of the 20th century, many of the greatest of lists were all topped by Muhammad Ali. In fact, Sports Illustrated named him the sportsman of the century. I know Babe Ruth had a great effect on baseball. Michael Jordan's probably the greatest basketball player of all time. But I don't know that there's anybody that touched the world stage the way Ali did.
Well, it probably isn't. At one point, he was probably the most recognizable face on the planet. I mean, everybody knew who he was. And also, what he stood for. You know, he stood for freedom. He stood for power, for strength. And he stood for, most important of all, individualism. And that's how he lived his life in and out of the ring. You know, he was very different in that ring in his approach and style, and that wasn't by accident. It was to stand out and show that everybody is unique.
Nice exchange. Both right hands landed. Muhammad Ali is really going to have to rely on his cornermen now doing a very good job considering the swelling that we saw developing in that last round.
You have to jump on it early, Joe, because once you let it start getting ahead of you, you have a problem. So that end swell, that metal piece that you keep in the ice, you have to put that right directly on the swelling and start to keep it down.
Well-placed counter punch by Ali. And he just holds on there. Teddy, many famous fighters, especially heavyweight champions, are known for their signature punch, like Rocky Marciano and his Suzy Q. But for Muhammad Ali, he's known for his signature shuffling on the feet, the Ali shuffle.
Yes, he is. And, it makes me think a little bit, sort of like if you were going to buy a real fancy car. When somebody wants to sell you something, wants you to believe in them, they give you something first, maybe a band or entertainment, and then they take you into the showroom. And, now you're ready to see the car. Well, that's what that is. That's the band. That's the entertainment. And then the show is about to begin. And it's an unbelievable show with those quick hands and those combinations.
Gets rid of that. It was intended for his head.
Side. Use the ring.
Foreman's just trying to push away. He wants to breathe a little.
There's no need to be on the inside.
Oh, and he returns fire with a left hand. Excellent counter punch by Ali. Look at the punch numbers from Muhammad Ali. He was much the busier fighter.
And you would expect that from Ali because he has the speed and he knows the best way to use that speed is to put them together.
Muhammad Ali is showing you a little defensive skill there, and he'll move away from that punch. Well, that was his intention, and that's what he's doing, not engaging in the fight, but clinching. George Foreman's cut man is going to need to be all over this side. The swelling seems to be getting worse.
Well, it's kind of like being a gardener. You have to start getting in there before the weeds come up. You can't wait until the weeds are all over the place and then pull them up. You're going to destroy those beautiful rose bushes. Well, it's the same thing here. You got to get to the side before the swelling's there. You got to put that end swell, that cold piece of metal, onto that place early on.
90 seconds to go in round number 4. Big George Foreman, originally from Marshall, Texas, where as a youth, Teddy, he was involved in a lot of street fights. I mean, he had a reputation as the kind of guy that you didn't mess with out and about.
We've had a lot of fighters that have come out that route. Boxing has saved, has turned a lot of young men who were in trouble on the streets, turned them into not only world champions, but, world champions as people that could serve society. Foreman is one of those young men.
Don't stay in one spot. Circle.
Excellent counter punch by Ali. Between rounds here, Muhammad Ali has to deal with the swelling.
Muhammad Ali